Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. It's Brad here from bradnewton.tv. I'm a fitness model competitor based in Australia. It is the 24th of May 2017. I'm actually 3 days out from stepping on the stage for my very next fitness model competition under ICN. So it's called ICN, it's also known as I Compete Natural. So it used to be called IMBA, now it's called ICN. So I'm competing for the third time in my life. I did my first ever competition early this year, 3rd of March, I got up on stage, or 5th of March, I got up on the stage for the first time in my life. I always said I'd never compete, and then I finally decided after years of training that I would, and I did it, and I got the bug, and now I'm getting back on the stage now for technically the 4th time, but for the same federation, it's gonna be the 3rd time. So I'm in peak week right now. And after I shoot this video, I'm gonna get a haircut, so I apologize, it's really long. So I wanted to talk about what to expect if you're looking at competing for the first time, what you should expect as a first-time competitor. Now obviously I'm going to speak for the guys here. It's probably going to be similar for the girls from what I've heard from the girls. And I've got a little note thing here as well I'm going to follow. So the first thing is that you're going to have some shit days. You're going to have some fucking shit, lonely days. When you are first starting your comp prep journey, usually it's like 3 or 4 months of comp prep. You know, that's when you'll start it. And it's all exciting in the beginning. It's like, yeah, this is so much fun. I'm gonna do a competition and everything's different, new training, new meal plan, new coach. You know, and you got this thing where you tell everybody, hey, I'm doing a comp prep. And then what happens is that for me, I got more and more, sort of more fearful really. Like I was excited, but also I became more fearful about, you know, am I going to be lean enough? Am I going to be ready enough? Am I going to be this and that? And, you know, that kind of fear became more and more prevalent toward the show. And, you know, and at times I had very shit days. Like I had bad days. I had days where I had no energy, I was tired, and everything just sort of comes together, right? Like no energy, you know, because you're 0 carb days and you're training on 0 carb days and you're fucking tired and your muscles are sore and you're calorie restricted and you can't go anywhere and your friends are inviting you out to eat pizza and have drinks, but you can't do that because you're on this fucking meal plan and everything else. And so you find yourself being antisocial, in pain, lonely and miserable and thinking to yourself, why the fuck am I doing this? And I guarantee you're gonna have those moments, and they're gonna be days. Like, it's not gonna be weeks, there are gonna be moments. And so as long as you walk into this contest prep thinking to yourself, okay, I'm gonna have moments, I'm gonna have days where it's gonna be fucking shit, I'm gonna question the whole thing, I'm gonna question my coach, you might even have an argument with your coach, you might even doubt them, you might even doubt yourself, you might doubt the program. And that's completely fine, that's completely normal. And so all I have to say to that is that you just know that you push through it and you come out the other end. And you know, the following day is a new day. And you write off that day completely. You know, I work a corporate job, right? I work a full-time job. And I'm also a vlogger, so I shoot a lot of videos. And I do a lot of editing, plus I do my training, plus I help people have online students and things like that. So I have a lot of things pulling at my time. So you just need to understand that there's just going to be moments where it's going to be fucked. It's going to be shit. And just a bit of backstory, like I've actually completely documented my first ever, I've actually documented all my comp preps and on my YouTube channel, go and check it out. And so you'll see, I actually injured my back. You know, there was a time like I was 3 or 4 weeks out from the stage and I fucked my back. I was in the gym, I was on the leg press and I popped my back. And I was like, I thought, this is it. I've just wasted this money. I'm out of the competition. I can't move forward. And I went to the physio and I had physio done and I couldn't walk properly for a few days and it was just really hectic. And so that was a time where I actually I was upset. I was in tears. I was actually crying, man. This dude here, I was in fucking tears. And you know, I'm not afraid to admit it. It's true. Like I was. And I was like, this is it. I worked really hard for this. And anyway, long story short, eventually I competed and I got first place, you know. I actually won. I got first place in 2 separate divisions in my first ever fitness comps. I was pretty pumped about that, even with a fucking injured back. So I couldn't do the back pose properly because I couldn't arch my back because I had all that pain. But I still won. So look, it's gonna be lonely as well. Like I was doing my comp prep over Christmas and New Year. I started my comp prep in September last year, October last year, 2016, and the show was in March this year. And you know, yeah, over Christmas, New Year, like, where is everybody during Christmas and New Year? They're not fucking at home watching TV. They're out, you know, at restaurants, and they're out, you know, at clubs and bars and whatever. And you know, for me, like, I can't say that New Year was lonely for me because I actually was in Thailand for New Year's with a couple of mates, but I had one drink, like one drink. I was like, guys, I know we're in Thailand. I know it's probably the last time in our lives we'll spend this fucking time together. And I'm sorry to say this, but it's gonna have to be one drink. So, you know, I was with my mates overseas. It was literally like one drink. Maybe it was two drinks. But like, honestly, like I had to cap it because I was even training when I was overseas in Thailand. Because I did some of my comp prep when I was in Thailand. Go and watch the video series in my YouTube channel and you'll see, like, I was training in like all these different gyms in Thailand. It's actually really fun series. Anyway, so, but Christmas I was here in Melbourne and it was lonely. I didn't go anywhere, I saw people, I went to the gym Christmas Day and I saw other people that were also lonely. So we had like this little thing, you know, it's like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, Christmas Day, you're training. Oh, nice. And anyway. Well done, mate. Well done. Merry Christmas.
And it's hot in here.
What day is it today?
Christmas Day, 25th of December.
Christmas Day. What perfect way to spend Christmas Day than training legs. Legs on Christmas Day.
My favourite day.
Good on you, mate. Well done. That was awesome. Good job. Good job. So look, there are going to be days where it's going to be lonely. Your friends are going to ask you to have drinks with them. You know, if you're a very social person, if you're very social, like I'm a very social dude. I talk to anybody, make friends really quickly with people. You're going to find that you're going to struggle the most. If you're naturally an introvert, then you'll probably fare better because you can deal with not being around people. You know. But anyway, that's the reality of it. You just have to say no a lot. And eventually your friends will stop asking you to certain things, right? And you'll find that the friends that you do make are within the comp community. So you'll end up making friends with like other bikini competitors, other figure girls, other physique athletes and so forth. You know, I've got a lot more friends now that are competing after doing my first show and now than what I did when I first started. So you'll be lonely now because you've never competed before. You might be doing this on your own. You might not have a coach, and you might not be competing in a group where there's a group of other competitors that are all in the same team. Like you're not part of a team. But once you do the show, you'll meet people. They'll become your friends, and everything will be sweet. So yeah, expect to be lonely. And in terms of being nervous. Like, to be honest with you, when I was doing my first comp prep, I wasn't nervous. I was really pumped the whole time. I was really excited the whole time. There was probably a few moments where I might have been nervous in hindsight. When you get up on stage, I had so much fucking energy, like it was crazy. If you go and look at vlog 54 from the original series, someone actually filmed it for me, and you'll just see how fucking charged I was. When I walked off the stage, I was like, give me more, like I just want to compete again, I just went nuts. And I was like, sign me up, next comp, sign me up. That's just how much energy I had. When you're on stage, what I did was I was chattering my teeth. Like I was like, because you have to smile, right? And I was like, but it kind of feels like you've got to force that smile out because, you know, if you're a little bit nervous, it's hard to naturally smile. So I was like this, and I was like, I could feel like fucking the bottom of my lip, like I could just chatter like this. A little bit, not much, a little bit. You get the idea. So I was doing that. And so it's completely normal. I spoke to a few other guys competing for the first time. They went through it as well. A couple of girls, same thing. And your mouth will get really dry as well. Like I was on stage doing this. like I looked like a lizard. I probably looked ridiculous. So I was like, because my mouth was so dry. And then we were doing the back pose. When you're doing the back pose, the judges can't see your face, they just see your back. So I was like trying to wet my mouth as much as possible. Like, come on, man, get that salivation going. Come on, like this. And then when you go back to the front pose, you're like this. Not that dramatic, but you get the idea. And then your mouth would dry out real quick. Anyway, so that was my experience. A few other competitors go through that as well. So it's probably not a bad idea before you walk up on stage to have a sip of water, like just a little bit, not much, just enough to wet your mouth right before you go up on stage, because it gets a little uncomfortable with a dry mouth. Anyway, there's just little things. So expect to be a little bit nervous. Some people find that they don't see the audience. Completely normal to have audience amnesia, or where the audience is invisible, and also the lights are so fucking bright. It's like staring into the headlights of a four-wheel drive at 11 o'clock at night on your drive home, and the fuckface has his high beams on. It's like, and you're like driving like this, you're like, fuck, turn your high, it's like that. You know, you're up on stage and you're like this, and these fucking beams of light shooting into your eyes, so you can barely see the audience, and you want to try, but it's really hard because the lights are very bright. So a lot of competitors that I've spoken to say that they don't even notice the audience. They just don't notice the judges, they don't see the judges, they don't see the audience, they just see brightness. For me, it was super bright, it was ridiculously bright, but I could still see a lot of the audience. And I could see all of the judges. I could look down and see all the judges, and you try and make eye contact with as many of them as you can. So yeah, but expect to not remember the audience, not see the audience. I don't know if this is like a fear thing or being too nervous or something like that. It wasn't something that I personally experienced but a lot of competitors will go through that experience for the first time. And then when you compete every time after that, it gets a lot easier. The next one is the fear of not being lean enough on the day or not being ready. Now, this was a fear that I had pop up closer to my first show. You know, when I first competed, when I first started my contest prep journey, I was excited, I was pumped, and I didn't really care about it. You know, like I thought about it. I thought about my readiness for the comp, but I didn't think, am I going to be ready? Am I going to be lean enough? It was like, when I was 4, 5, 6 weeks out, I was like, I'd have my calipers. I don't have my calipers with me, but I had my little fat calipers, and I was like, every second or third day, I was like pinching, I was doing the pinch and inch. I was like 6 millimeters, 6 millimeters, 6.5. I'm like, fuck, 6.7, shit. And I'd jump on the scales and be like 88.4, 88.7, 88.9. So become a little bit obsessive with the small details, and it's completely unnecessary, but that's what happens. It's completely normal to have that fear of not being ready enough, not being good enough, not being lean enough. You know, that's completely normal. You know, every competitor that I've spoken to have had the same thing, and you know, even now, doing my third show in a few days from now, I still feel at times, hey, I'm not going to be ready enough. Not as bad though. It's not as bad. Like, I'm like, shit, maybe I'm not going to be lean enough. But then I think to myself, I've had this fear before, and I got first place, right? So that's why I don't feel as uneasy about it. But that's completely normal if you have that. So, and the only way to break through it is to just recognize that you're going to have the fear, and that's all you can do about it. You might chatter. So I talked about that. Invisible audience. Oh, it goes very fast. That's my last thing on the list. So it's unbelievably crazy when you get your stage times, just how quickly time goes. Like, you're up on stage for like 5 minutes. You spend 4 months prepping, and then when you finally get up on stage, you have your tan on, you got these ridiculous fucking spotlights in your face, and you get 12 judges down there, or 9 judges, blah, blah, blah. Like, that time just goes real quick. So when you get up on stage, it's like, it goes so quickly. So it's really important that this is kind of not really what to expect. It's more like kind of a tip. You need to just have fun, but also realize that time goes so fast. So you're up on stage and then you're off again within a heartbeat. So you want to make the most of your contest prep. It's pretty much it. So So that's it. That's what you should expect leading up to contest prep. It's gonna have some shit days. That's probably the biggest one. You're gonna have fucking shit days. You're not gonna wanna train. You won't train at the same level of intensity. You'll look at your training program and you go, fuck that, I'm not doing that. Or you go, I just want a quest bar, and you have a fucking quest bar. You know, because you look at your meal plan, it's so fucking strict. And so you'll have moments where you'll have cheat meals, you'll have blowouts from your meal plan, you'll have food that you're not supposed to have. But I'm not saying you'll go and have burgers. You might, but for me, when I blew out of my meal plan, I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna have a fucking chocolate brownie. And I never even eat chocolate brownies. I haven't had a fucking chocolate brownie since I was 16, and here I am halfway through contest prep, having a fucking chocolate brownie at 11 o'clock at night. And I actually documented that in all of my vlogs. What's really interesting, all my vlogs have everything, so I don't leave anything out. So go and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, watch some of the vlogs. I even have blood tests on as well. So I actually show people my blood test results. Because everyone's like, you're unhealthy. I was like, fuck you, I feel awesome. And then I'm tired, I feel really tired, but I feel pretty awesome in general. But I had a blood test anyway. So look, you have shit days, normal. So I hope that this has kind of set the expectations for you. If you've already competed, maybe if you have any suggestions to the audience that are looking at competing for the first time, please leave them below in the comments. Also subscribe if you haven't already. I've pretty much set up this channel to be fitness, health, contest prep, video related, and also my adventures. I love travel, I'm also a pilot, and I love scuba diving, and I'm a bit of a crazy adventure person. So yeah, videos like that will be on this channel as well. So thanks again for watching, and like this video, share it with friends, and speak soon.